Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dariusdevonking, and today I wanted to talk about the first video in a series that I plan on doing over the Prada short films. These films have left a huge impression on me, and it's worth taking a deep dive into, so I'm super excited to share this with you guys. So, A Therapy was released in 2012 at the Cannes Film Festival. Directed by Roman Polanski, he introduced this film as a anti-commercial. This film seems to be set in New York, in the same room as the room from Carnage in 2011, and the same building as the Ninth Gate, starring Johnny Depp. Roman Polanski and Dean Talaveras also worked on these projects together, so there's kind of a reference and overall tone that all three of these films share. But we begin with a wealthy client, played by Helena Bonham Carter, visiting her therapist, played by Ben Kingsley. She enters the room wearing a lilac fur coat with a matching blouse, followed by a red pencil skirt. Her interest alone really sets the overall tone for how the session is going to go. Her confidence and the way she moves into the room really speaks on how her needs are always prioritized over others. The way she's so nonchalant when she comes in and kind of just like lets the fur coat kind of fall off of her, and you see the therapist really like snatch the coat from her. This move feels like it's a chivalrous, like generous professional move from the therapist, and it also comes off. It kind of gives you the oblivious nature of the wealthy client, but mainly offers foreshadowing for what's to come. So she kicks off her heels, and of course they're Prada, and she lays on the chaise, and she begins to talk about a dream that she had. So she says to the therapist that the
Last
last
time
time that
you
she was there,
reminded me that if I had a
if she
dream,
were
I
to
could
have a
tell you
dream
about it.
again when she comes back, to tell him about it. So in this
Was it
dream,
alone?
she's
In
alone
a
at
vast
a
arena?
venue, an
All
arena,
alone?
and there's a
On the
band
stage
playing
was a
on
rock
stage,
band.
but she can't
I couldn't
hear
hear the
anything that
music.
the band is playing,
Total
which
silence.
sends her into
I was
kind of an
concealing a
overall
panic.
panic.
What does it
She
mean?
feels that it's because she's lonely, and she's lonely because she's rich and cannot trust anyone, as people only really want her around for her money. Despite her regular therapy sessions, the client appears emotionally detached, as if the therapy is just another status symbol rather than a genuine pursuit of well being. It doesn't come off authentic at all. Her superficial focus on material wealth contradicts her need for support and human connection. This serves as a critique of the emptiness that can accompany wealth and the universal nature of human vulnerability that we all feel. So I think the therapist, having dealt with her before, understands that she's, a little dramatic and probably being unauthentic with this whole interaction. So with his like passive aggressive push of the pen, he's almost instantly like detached himself and focused on the fur coat.
But I
At
couldn't
this
hear the
point,
music.
the wealthy
Total
client and
silence.
the therapist seem to
I was
kind of
concealing my
take
panic.
different roads.
What does it mean?
While the wealthy client is going on
Does
about her
it
daddy's money
symbolize
and
my
how she's so
loneliness?
rich and lonely,
I
you
was
see
ready
the
to let
therapist
loose.
slowly get
I
more
think it's because
fixated
I'm
on
rich.
the
And
fur
Daddy
coat.
left me
This
everything.
fur coat, especially requested by Polanski for the film, is a special edition lilac, and it's really there to show the exclusivity and the uniqueness of the brand. We start to see that moment of foreshadowing that I was talking about from earlier, where you think just him removing the coat for her and hanging it up is like a professional, genuine move. But now we start to see things shift, as he just wanted to probably get his hands on the fur coat that he loves so much. These clothes are very similar to the fall winter 2012 shows, but they're not distinctive enough to be from any of the shows. They were likely produced without announcement and made directly for VICs, or it could just be a power move from Yucha. This fur coat is the star of the show, and it draws our attentions to moments of reflection and passions. It brings a dramatic change in the environment from what you would regularly see at a psychiatrist's office. I haven't been to therapy yet, even though I probably need to, but I imagine it being kind of boring and sad. You have that intersection between professionalism and personal aspiration kind of coming to a head and being blurred. As the session continues, You see the therapist get like increasingly more locked in and fixated on this fur coat that's hanging up. This moment really shows the man behind the doctor. It could be, the man in the mirror. You could say the actual person inside of the character that we all kind of put on when we leave the house. His is buried under respect and professionalism. This act of him putting his glasses away in his suit pocket
Dem
and kind of
Turin out
pushing his
behind and
pen and pad to the
then
side in the
what
middle of her
about
talking
pain?
once again goes against what we would
Gyrating,
really think a
swaying.
psychiatrist would do in this situation.
You understand?
Without words, he doesn't really speak at all in this short film. I don't think he says one word, but without words, we can really feel everything that he's thinking, everything that he wants to say from the first moment that he looks at the fur coat. It just says so much, and it speaks so much volume without him having to say anything, which is just really great acting in general. His professional facade begins to crack, showing how material desires can overpower social and professional boundaries. His fascination with the coat speaks on social climbing, social mobility, and overall aspirations. The moment shows an imbalance with his therapy office kind of doubling as a stage for the client's display of overall wealth, which brings in this quote: luxury as therapy, therapy as luxury. This really highlights the power of luxury and how it can significantly impact one's identity and emotions. In this scene, the therapist is now standing and he's in front of the fur coat, completely disregarding what she's saying. And you can feel the emotion coming out of him. He slowly strokes the fur coat. And in this moment, you see the transformation happen, the delight in him. He takes a sigh of belonging, a warm embrace, and a glimpse of euphoria comes out as he looks in the mirror with the fur coat on his shoulder. It's the satire that shows the length people will go for luxury. I think Prada is poking fun of the absurdity and the obsession with material goods while also acknowledging its undeniable allure. It's saying even a respected profession is immune to the allure of wealth and status that Prada brings. Finally, the therapist puts on the fur coat, strikes a pose, and he kind of embodies the same persona of his client as if he's been waiting for this moment his whole life. So while he's striking a pose, we get this freeze frame where you see the saying "Prada suits everyone" and it appears on the screen.
Big
And this is
taxi.
suggesting that
Oh,
Prada
doctor, what does it
transcends
mean?
boundaries and it's
What
universally
does it
appealing. In conclusion, A
mean?
Therapy
Doctor?
is a beautiful example of how Prada blends fashion and storytelling, creating a memorable and engaging experience. We get a good look at class, economics, wealth, and conspicuous consumption. I think it's a great play on retail therapy because that's what I use personally a lot whenever I'm feeling down. A nice purchase of something that's too expensive always makes me feel better, and I deal with the financial effect later. Once again, my name is Dariusdevonking. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, um, and I'll see you on the next one.